Hello YouTube, I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney. May not look like it, but I am, I promise. On this channel, we answer publicly posted questions from YouTube users, getting folks the answer they need from an employment attorney. And right now, I am enjoying the out of doors because here in rural New Hampshire, we're getting kind of that first wave of fall. It's amazing. We're, 45, 50 degrees at night, high of 70 during the day. It's lovely. We have a hurricane coming up here. Excuse me. And it is unfortunately going to hit Maine and New Brunswick, I believe, which, sucks. And I hope those people are all okay. But the side effect of all that is that the breeze here is incredible. It's as good as it could possibly be. It's amazing out, so I didn't want to go back inside. I was just doing a little work, and I figured I would make a video here because I had a conversation with a gentleman who had some questions about utilizing discrimination claims to protect his job. And I got to give some caveats for this one. It is incredibly important that you only do this if you are legitimately experiencing workplace discrimination or workplace sexual harassment, right? I'm giving you a playbook on how to defend yourself and protect yourself and leverage the protections inherent in these federal laws. But if you use it for evil, you're hurting all of society, which sounds dramatic, but it's not, okay? It's very similar to when people will, the rare instance of someone making a fake sexual harassment claim. Does that happen? Sure. Of course, humans are humans, right? Humans are human beings. It is what it is. Now, does it happen often? No. But when it does happen, it hurts all victims. It hurts everyone, really. I mean, it hurts the fabric of society because we're trying to fix these problems. And these fake claims are detrimental to that process, right? And they have these outsized ripples through society where people are going to be like, well, I know this one person faked it and, it's all fake now. And it's like, well, that's not how that works. But also, I do understand, lazy human minds will think that way. That's what human minds like to do. They like simple ideas they can extrapolate from, and then they like to make things black and white, which is, never how the world is actually. Now, so with that caveat, only use this. Only use this if you are legitimately the victim of workplace discrimination, workplace sexual harassment. I will kind of get into the playbook. I'm not going to say that if you fake workplace discrimination or fake workplace sexual harassment, that I'm not going to say I hope you die. I would never say that. You might be guilty of thinking it. No, I'm kidding. I would never hope you die. Maybe I hope you suffer. I might hope you suffer a little bit if you fake it. But that being said, I would not hope you die. Now, if you are legitimately, for realsies, on the real, the victim of workplace discrimination, workplace sexual harassment, right? And that, again, we'll give you the definition. If you're experiencing negative workplace consequences because of your membership in a protected class, then you are the victim of workplace discrimination. We've said it on the channel many times. There are additional protected classes in different areas, right? So we have the federal laws. They have a certain number of protected classes all over the nation, all 50 states. There are also, in different states and different localities, additional protected classes. So, check with your local council on that. Additionally, there are also going to be different laws governing retaliation on different state and local levels. So you should also check with local council about that. What we are speaking about here is the federal statutes, the federal playbook, okay? Which is, in all 50 states, but there are going to be additional protections in some states, and then other states are going to have weird things where you're like, hey, that's not good for me. Just be aware of that. Check with local council. Now, if you've experienced workplace discrimination, workplace sexual harassment, and you also, related or unrelated, fear for your job, you can make a complaint in writing. You want to be able to prove your complaint, right? Like the best complaint is going to be via email, timestamped by a third party, uninvolved, neutral body that just doesn't care about anything, like Google, Gmail would be amazing, right? timestamped by an email server, maybe that's not in the possession of your employer, where things could be deleted and things could be altered. Those can all be found in forensics, forensic IT, but it's not ideal. Not ideal. You want to come out of the gate strong with strong evidence. So you get your complaint in writing with specificity. You complain about the specific form of discrimination that you experienced. You don't have to give all the information. You don't have to give all the information, but you do have to give enough information to lock in the idea to any casual observer that you have complained about a specific form of discrimination tied to a specific protected class. And from that point on, any negative workplace consequence you experience will potentially be viewed as a claim for retaliation. And that's important. That's important because many defense attorneys, most defense counsel will come in and say, hey, don't fire this person. Don't fire this person. That's going to be a retaliation claim. You're going to make the claim worth even more, right? Oh, that phrase is so good. Oh, I love it. And so the first thing that defense counsel is going to do is hold some kind of training session where they tell everybody, hey, leave this person alone. No mean comments. No negative workplace consequences. No changing the schedule or the work site or anything in a way this person doesn't want, right? And this is very, very important because oftentimes you need your work. It's how you feed yourself. It's how you clothe yourself. It's how you put shelter over your family's head, right? People don't really respect how important work is in this nation. We don't have all that built out of a social safety net, right? And I'm not getting political about that. I'm just saying, in the absence of such a safety net, boy howdy, losing your job can be real scary, right? I mean, the average American, I think they're probably like 6 weeks from homeless, right? If they just stop earning tomorrow. Like, I want to say I read a study recently that like the average American's got something like between $400 and $600 in the bank. Like that's their savings for a rainy day. I don't even think that's rent anywhere in this country, right? So theoretically, if you stopped earning right now, in this moment, and you're the average American, the average U.S. citizen, well, how long does it take to be evicted? Because you're not making your rent that first month. And how long it takes to be evicted is going to be very different. New York and San Francisco, quite a while. Upstate New York, not that long. Georgia, maybe even faster. I mean, listen, I don't have a depth of knowledge about eviction law. I worked briefly during law school in a landlord-tenant court in New York City, which was a trip. But I can't stress enough, but for the grace of God, we could all be homeless in a matter of months, right? So protecting your job is incredibly, incredibly important in that dynamic. Feeding yourself, feeding your children, your partner, your spouse, your whatever, right? This matters incredibly. And that's part of why the protections are in place against retaliation. And that's part of why you should take advantage of them if you are a legitimate victim of workplace discrimination, workplace sexual harassment. You want to leverage those protections for what they are meant to do. They're meant to protect you while you pursue your claims. Or even if you don't want to pursue your claims, you can still leverage these protections because these protections are good and important and can do good things for society, right? So I want to get this out there. I know somebody's going to immediately be like, oh, they're all faking it. It's not fun to pursue a workplace discrimination or workplace sexual harassment claim. That is not a good time, and that is not an easy tactic. And does it happen that people do it for fakesies? Sure. Yes. Again, it does happen. Employment attorneys have almost no interest in that because generally people who try to fake claims are morons, and like the story doesn't hold together. The case is junk. It's this is not something you want to. As an employment attorney, you don't want to be investing your money in fake claims. You're just at that point throwing away money. It's silly. It's ridiculous, horrible, and hateful. And you're doing bad things. I don't think anybody on the plaintiff side really wants to do that. So yeah, nobody loves it, and that narrative doesn't really hang together. It's rare that happens. just saying, don't do it. Don't do it. But with a legitimate claim, make sure you're using these protections and make sure you're using them in an intelligent manner, because losing your job is horrific. Losing your job suddenly without any warning because of something tied to your identity, that's horrifying. That is legitimately like that. You can make a horror film about that. Right? Really. And we all ignore somebody doesn't have the family connections, the societal safety net of like relationships, the friends, whatever it is that might help you in a time of need. In this country, they could be rapidly hungry and homeless, right? I know there's certain states like, oh, we've got a great social safety net. No. I mean, listen, New York, they spend a lot of money on it, but I see a lot of homeless people. Just realistically, like I don't see the services. The services are not getting where they're needed. People are not getting helped, and that's corruption, or incompetence, one or the other. I'm not a political scientist. I'm not an economist. I don't know, but use the laws that work, because the laws governing that social safety net, they're not getting it done. All right, take care out there. Oh, that's my kiwi pagoda. Growing cold weather kiwis. They're gonna climb up that, and giant kiwi vines of small kiwi berries. Not like the big kiwis like you get in the grocery store, but like small, cold hardy kiwis that are, they're like a fifth the size of normal kiwi, but they can grow and survive in places like this where you get -20, -40 on occasion. And it's I don't know if you can see it. Maybe not. My little app got an infant apple orchard going up between the house and the kiwi pagoda. Pagoda? Is that the right phrase? Pergola. Anyways, take care, everybody. Enjoy the weekend. Bye. Oh, like, subscribe, comment down below.